Hello and welcome. Today I'm doing a birthday makeup look. Today when I'm posting this video is my 31st birthday, so I wanted to sit down and do a nice fun birthday party look video. So if you'd like to see how I put this look together and everything I used, just keep on watching. So I have my base on already. Everything will be listed below, but I wanted to go with a slightly deeper base than my usual lately, which has been the shade 1 of the Lisa Eldridge foundation. Today I actually mixed shades 1 and 4 of that foundation, and I also made sure to do a little bit of a bronzing underneath the foundation as well as a cream contour on top. So before I even put the foundation on, I actually used a little bit of the Kevyn Aucoin Glass Glow Skin, the one in the kind of iridescent shade, on most of my face. But then on the kind of bronzing contour areas, I used a little bit of the Westman Atelier Lit Up Highlight Stick in Brûlée, as well as a little bit of the Glossier liquid bronzer. All the shades and everything will be listed. I can't remember the shade of the Glossier one, but I put those on underneath my foundation. Then, as I said, I mixed those two shades of the Lisa Eldridge to put that on top, and I used the Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate in 0.5, the cream contour part of that, on top of the foundation. So that's kind of what we're working with now in addition to concealer. And I will be using a powder bronzer as well, but I really wanted to just kind of get that little bit more bronziness going because I find that that kind of look on the skin works best with the eye look that I want to do today, which is a very kind of warm gold, kind of 70s inspired eye look. So my main eye product that I'm going to be using is the Lisa Eldridge Liquid Lurex. This is the shade Lauren, and I've been so surprised by how much I really love this shade. I do love gold eyeshadows, but I normally wouldn't choose one that is quite as kind of warm and orangey as this, but this, it's just really beautiful, and with the kind of shimmery, glittery formula, it's really, really lovely. So I'm going to start with basically putting this all over my lid. And I tap it in. Kind of like to do the tapping on the areas where it's easy for my finger to get into. And then I'll pull in a brush for kind of the inner part of the eye where my ring finger is a little bit big to get in there and really tap that out. I want a little bit more of the product right in there. I want a little bit more and a little bit of a winged out shape there too. I'm taking my Katie Jane Hughes Spectrum brush. It's the number 20. And this is actually much better than the 11, which I was using before for the smaller areas here. And now that I've done the same thing on the other eye, I'm just going to take a little bit more of the shadow, just kind of build it up in the middle part there. Now for liner, I'm going to use Liza. I did a look very similar to this the other day, and I actually used Diana as the liner, and that had a really nice effect paired with Lauren. It was really pretty, but I want to try something a little bit more distinct, I guess, and a little bit deeper on the lash line. So I'm going to try it with Liza this time. And basically just draw the doe foot along my lash line. And up in a tiny little bit of a wing shape. I was just using that same number 20 brush to just kind of pat that in and blend it a little bit. Here's Freddie coming to say hello. Now I'm going to take my Victoria Beckham Silk quad. This is a really great pairing for both Diana and Lauren because it has those gold tones and it has that shimmery texture as well. So it's not a kind of really glittery formula like the Lisa Eldridge, but it still has that shimmer so that it really complements and carries through that kind of glowing effect on the eyes with these shadows. I'm gonna go ahead and do the lower lash line first, and I think I'm gonna use this shade right here, taking that on the number 15 brush. And you can see this is a slightly yellower gold than Lauren on the lids, but still quite warm. I'm going to take a little bit of this brown shade now on the same brush and focus it just on the outer part of the lower lash line and blend it up into that liner. I actually kind of want to try a little bit of the brown on top of Liza on the outer part here. Ooh, I like that. I'm going to put it on top of Liza all across. So now I'm taking the number 11 brush again, and I'm going to go into, I'll go into this one first, but then I might dip into this slightly deeper gold. This gold is actually closer, I think, to Lauren, but I'm going to go into the yellower one first. And then I just blend around the edges here, right up to the brow basically. And I just love that kind of overall shimmering effect that this gives, and I think it really just kind of softens out the eye as well. It's really pretty. And I actually want to just blow it out a little bit more on the lower lash line, so I'm taking the same brush, the number 11 here, in the same shade that I already have on my lower lash line, and just blending it out a little bit more just to soften it. So today is my birthday when I'm posting this video. Full disclosure, I'm pre-filming it by a few days, so when I'm filming it's not actually my birthday, but we're gonna pretend that it is. I was born on December 21st, and if anyone's wondering, I am a Capricorn, not a Sagittarius. I was born on the cusp, but definitely a Capricorn, and I have an Aquarius moon and Virgo rising, in case you're curious. So I'm gonna go into this kind of white champagne-y gold shade using that smaller brush again, the number 20. This is great for inner corner, and especially for kind of like shimmery shades, I think, in the inner corner, because it's a flat shader brush, but just really small. So it's good at getting into that small area, but still being able to pick up those more shimmery textures. Just putting this on my inner corner, pulling it a little bit along the lower lash line and a little bit up onto the lid. And then for a little bit of a finishing touch, I'm going to go into this brown again with the 11 brush, just a tiny little bit. I really don't want very much product there. I'm just going to add it right to kind of the outer crease here, blending up, just to add a tiny little bit of shadow and kind of pull the eye out a little bit. And then because I don't want there to be any real distinct impression of that brown shade, I am going to go into this last gold shade here and just blend on top of that. So I'll maintain a little bit of the depth I got with the brown, but just kind of remove the appearance of the brown, or the brown color. I'm going to go back into the white gold shade. Just draw that right along the brow bone. Now I'm going to go in with my Victoria Beckham Cocoa Liner on the upper waterline and some mascara on top and bottom lashes. And then I'll be back and we'll finish off the face and the lips. The eyes are all finished. I also added a little bit of the Chantecaille brightening eye Kajal in the lower waterline just to kind of open the eyes up a little bit and brighten them. And now I'm ready to get into bronzer. So I'm going to be using the Huda Glowish bronzer. This is the lightest shade, 01 Light. And I'm going to go in with my big Wayne Goss artist brush, the large size, and just bronze up the face. I really love this bronzer actually. I got it during the Huda Black Friday sales. And I love the glowiness of it, and I also really like the tone of it actually. It's, I'd say it's fairly cool toned. It has, like, more than anything, it's kind of like a brownish toned bronzer. So it's not really orangey, I don't find. It's maybe a little bit peachy, but I don't find it yellowy at all. But really the kind of predominating tone that I find from it is like a nice, really truly bronzy brown. And it does have a little bit of kind of a reddish influence in there. So I think it's quite a good bronzer for fair skin. And also because of the fact that it is really sheer and buildable, makes it a great formula for fair skin tones as well. And the fact that it has that little bit of glow and the ability to kind of reflect light a little bit also makes it really nice if you don't want a really strong kind of matte bronzed look. And it'll just kind of diffuse the light a little bit, and it looks really nice. So there's the bronzer on. And now I want some blush. I'm going to be using my Patrick Ta Velvet Blush in She's Sincere. This is a perfect shade, I think, for this look because it's a little bit warm, but it's not too orangey or too like bright peachy. It's kind of more like a nude peach tone. And so I think it just plays really nicely with this quite warm eye and with the lip that I'm going to be using as well. It adds that flush of color, but in a really nice, soft way that doesn't compete with the rest of the look. And again, this formula is so nice for fair skin because it's very, very buildable. So I expect I'll want to top the blush up again, but I'm going to go into highlighter now. This is the Dior Forever highlighter in the shade 04 Golden Glow. And I thought, again, this would be a nice kind of complement to this warmer, peachy cheek thing we have going on, but it's still not too bright or anything like that. I'm using my Sonia G detail brush for this. And now for the lips. So I mentioned that I had done a very similar look to this the other day, and I had to go through a few different lip options to find the right one, and I finally settled on the Victoria Beckham Posh lipstick in the shade Girl. Really new purchase for me. It's always kind of nice. I really don't need any more makeup at all, and definitely didn't need any more lipsticks, but of course I bought this one. And it's kind of nice when you find the perfect look for a new lipstick because there were other options that I probably could have made work, but it would have required a lot of tweaking. And with this one, I can just go right in with this color and a little bit of liner and it's perfect. So I'm gonna put this on and then I'll kind of explain why I think this is the best color for this look. So now I've got Girl on and I need a little bit of liner to define the lips. So I'm taking my Lisa Eldridge Decade liner. And I'm just adding it very softly into the corners on the lower lip. Kind of tap it in. And then a little bit right in kind of this area of the upper lip. And a tiny bit right here. So you can see the presence of that liner is almost invisible, but it does really help to define the lip and just, I think, make it work better with the whole look. And the reason that I settled on this one as the perfect color for this look, I wanted something that wasn't too bright, it didn't lean too pink or too orange or too browny. I really wanted a quite muted but still kind of nude, pinky, peachy, browny shade. So my first thought when I was trying to find a lip was the Lisa Eldridge Kitten Mischief lipstick, which is this one right here. and this is Girl right here. So you can see that when you compare the two, Kitten Mischief is just it's a little bit more vibrant, and it was a little bit more vibrant than I wanted for this look, because I wanted something to really balance out the look where we have a lot of warmth and shimmer and kind of brightness going on in the eyes. I really felt that I needed to tone down the rest of the face and the lip a little bit. So the second option I tried after Kitten Mischief was Velvet Fawn from Lisa Eldridge. And you can see here, it's just a little bit more cool toned and kind of gray pinky than Girl is. And it did end up, it was just pulling a little bit too cool. It looked a little too gray on the lips with this whole look, which is quite warm. And then actually after I tried those two, I decided to go for Girl and was very happy with it. But I also just wanted to show you Velvet Intrigue because someone was asking in the comments about how Velvet Intrigue might compare to Girl. So I just wanted to show you them there next to each other, and you can see that Velvet Intrigue, it's kind of similar to Kitten Mischief in that it's just a little bit more intense, a little bit of a brighter, it's just Girl is much more desaturated, I find. So I just wanted to show you those and kind of talk through my process of choosing what I thought would be the right lip for this look. And this is the completed birthday makeup look. So I hope you enjoyed watching me put this look together. I think this would be a great look for any holiday party as well. Since my birthday is so close to Christmas, there's definitely a holiday vibe with my birthday makeup usually, but I still like to keep it a little bit distinct. You could definitely wear this to any holiday party or any birthday party, whether it be your own or someone else's. Let me know if you have any questions or comments below. I always love to see those. And if you'd like to see more from me and you haven't subscribed to my channel already, I would really love for you to do so. Thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.